Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 200 and hold the phone, 47 of Keeping It Real. I am your dedicated and loving host, Kadis, and today we have whatever we've got. Not like I've got anything planned, not like I've got anything on my mind, just like I've turned on the camera and we're going to chat. I think Griffin's going to join today. So the faster we can get him on, the better, I think, because this is, when I have someone on the episode, it's their episode. So I don't want to be like, he'll join whenever he wants to join. Like, I definitely want to see how fast we can get him in here. So I'm going to open up Discord and we're doing this on the fly. So we're going to make sure that we can get all of our levels and all working good. So if I join here and just turn my camera on, and this is where I'll be looking at him. Okay, it looks like he's at Billy's house. MacBook Air. Okay, so there's my camera. And then we'll do join on the PC, and this will be my mic. So he can hear us and we can see him. Okay, there's Griffin. And as long as I don't move my mouse, perfect. Okay, this is perfect. So that's actually a pretty cool view of Griffin. It looks like he's got the bike in the shed. Is he wearing overalls or something of that nature? Why does he look like he's wearing like pants that... Okay, so you can't hear anything. I'm going to turn his audio on when he gets closer because right now he's making reels. So let's see. What can... Oh, I can hear him though, is the thing. So I'll just turn him down. Okay, he's making reels right now. Ducati, I'm hearing him say the word Ducati. Okay, regardless, I'm excited for him to finish making his Instagram reels. I'm excited to talk to him. But until that happens, I'm going to try and... before that happens, I'm going to try and keep it real with you. To keep it real, I've felt very busy, very distracted, and I don't know. It's like, I've always felt like I'm never doing everything the right way, and it really bugs me sometimes. And like, there are certain, I don't know, let's see, let's just do what we do and walk through the day. And that's kind of what we do, right? Until Griffin comes. And then we're definitely going to launch into conversation with him because I got to know how he's doing. Okay. So today I woke up around 1 p.m. If you tuned in, which, somebody did, and it wasn't my mom. She told me she was behind on keep. So somebody watched my full episode yesterday, and I think that was a very good episode that I had. I thought that I recounted the day very well, and I think a good indicator of when I have a good episode is when the timer just sort of flies to 1 hour on my end. That is, on your end, it's a very different experience because you have the free will to skip through the video at any time. And it's like, you have all the power. It's in your hands. When you click on an episode of Keeping It Real, it's up to you whether or not you want to watch, or listen. But for me, it's very much real time. I sit here every single hour of every single hour that you see spread amongst all these days, and I can't skip forward in time, and I have to sit here and I have to keep it real. So as we inch towards the part where I'm going to chronologically recount my day, I have to start before I went to sleep last night, and that was the episode that I did. I did my Keeping It Real episode late last night. It was a very good episode. I'm trying to tell you, you should take a look at 246. I think what I can say about 246 is that my tone of voice stays the same the entire time. My pace of speaking stays the same the entire time. And I very much am, locked in. Like, I feel like I really kept with it, kept up, and kept talking. And that's what Keeping It Real is all about, running your mouth until either the timer hits 1 hour or you can't run your mouth anymore. So, because I was up so late in the filming, editing, and posting of that episode, I went to bed around 5 a.m. maybe even 6 a.m. Yesterday, or maybe technically like this morning. Time gets weird. And today was Labor Day, so I didn't have any school to go to, and I didn't have any work to go to, but I did have some obligations, right? And I knew that going to bed, and I knew that when I woke up. And when I woke up, it was about 1 p.m. And I was like, okay, I'm awake. I have to get out of bed. So I did, and that was good. I got out of bed. I was in the kitchen, and I was trying to like think about like what can I eat? Like I don't really have any food in the kitchen, but I did have like a jar of peanut butter, but I was like, I don't want to eat a jar of peanut butter. I just couldn't really land on anything. And like everyone else was up and moving around because it was 1 p.m. And I was just like, I just felt so like, I felt like I could just go right back to sleep. And I was like, tried to stay up out there for like 10, 15 minutes. And I don't know how much time really passed, but I ended up just being like, dude, screw this. Like I'm getting back into my bed. And so I did. And I immediately fell asleep and was woken up around 5 p.m. By a friend. Now, this is a very cool thing that happened to me. The friend that woke me up, I think I did see on my phone he had actually called me once or twice, but I did not pick up, obviously, because I was asleep. So he took the liberty to come on by, let himself in. I'm not sure if he knocked or what. He might have knocked. But then he opened my bedroom door and woke my ass up. Now, that's something that I've always thought, like, peace. Where are you going? Hey, I'm not alone. Someone's on Discord. I'm not alone. Just wanted to say that. Uh, I was trying to get okay, so what I was saying was he opened my bedroom door and I woke my ass up. And that's something that I've like that was pretty cool to have someone open my bedroom door and wake my ass up. I've always like I feel like I've always told people like don't hesitate to come to where I live and open my bedroom door and wake my ass up. And he did it. And I felt like that's awesome that I have a friend that would do that. And it's awesome that I got my ass up. I had just woken up, so I was very like, when you just wake up, so I'm very like, there is that perfect amount of sleep where you wake up and you're just this like beautiful angel as long as you get out of the bed. But it's like I get frustrated talking and thinking about it because I just never can get it right. It's like I never can make myself go to bed at the right time. I always put things off to the last minute. I always, if I have the chance, I always sleep in and I sleep too much. And it's like, it's just like it's like so exhausting, and this exhaustion and frustration is going to come back to just going to come back. This is foreshadowing to the next part of my day, but he got me out of the house, and we went to Hill Public Library because I had schoolwork to do, and I knew what I was going to do, and I did it when I got there. The whole thing I did ChatGPT. And I don't like, once again, I'm thinking of this part of the day that really like frustrated me. And I don't mean to like skip ahead, but because we're going to get there soon. But like, I just had a really frustrating, like, I just got really frustrated. And that's what we do on this show. We're going to talk about it. But let's see, I did my schoolwork, submitted it. It wasn't due till tomorrow, but I just wanted to get out of the way and like, so I feel free tomorrow. Like if, I know I'm going to need like, this is the way I see it, right? It would be like this. It would be either tomorrow I wake up, go to class, and make the episode of tomorrow's show, and do all my social media stuff. And then have an assignment due, and also know in the back of my mind that I should study the material that I'm behind on and I don't know, or I can, have class to go to, I can make my show, I can know that I have stuff to study in the back of my mind, but I won't have anything due. It's like the due dates are really what, like, it's so weird because it's like an external thing. That's why it's kind of a miracle that this show exists and that I've created my own due dates, because It's so easy to cheat yourself, right? It's so easy to be like, it's so easy. I feel like the only ways that we are able to because the only ways that we are able to work hard is when we're in the presence of other people, it seems. And that's why I think that these richest men in the world and people that you look up to and they're so dedicated and they work harder than anyone that you know, they're so interesting and they're such outliers because they've somehow figured out how to make themselves work like internally, and that's really really hard. And that doesn't actually make any that much sense, to be honest. And I kind of go back on that. I don't really know what that had to do with anything I was saying. I'm supposed to be recounting my day, but that was me trying to kind of say what was the reason for, or how come I didn't do my math to the best of my ability in at least the time I had allotted, especially if I actually did have that extra amount of time. How come I didn't use it and, just understand that tomorrow I would have to do this and that. It's almost like, how come I didn't, the question almost becomes like, how come I didn't do everything perfectly so that I could set myself up to do everything perfectly tomorrow? And that's what I kind of felt like frustrated me in the next part of my day. And the next part of my day, this is what happened. And this is going to be an interesting moment because it involves a direct human being that I'm going to address. And not only that, but that person is probably the number one fan of the show and someone who listens to the show more than anyone else consistently, and in qualitative listening. Like, this person likely is not only the one who listens to the show the most, but is also the one that I don't know how else to say this other than to just stress the word listens to the show more than anyone else. And I called this person because I call this person all the time, and I said to them, hello. But very quickly, it just turned into, I felt like I was being, I don't know, I felt like I was being attacked, poked, or prodded. And I don't know, like, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I thought about this after the phone call, and there's still more to think about. I'm glad I have this time on this show to think through it audibly. To the best of my memory, right? Because, you have to have context. And as me imagining you listening to this, I have to sort of tell you what happened, right? I can't just let that sit in my mind and say that I know, because I know that I don't know unless I can explain. So I called, I'm trying to remember where I was when I said different things and heard different things. I think the phone call started out indoors. The person picked up, and I'm walking outdoors, and I said hello. I can't really remember what I said before. I said something along the lines of, isn't it great that I reduced my responsibility at work? Which, for one thing, is like something that I thought that this person was pushing me to do all along. It's like this, the reason that I needed responsibility lifted at work was because I had picked up a very new and intense responsibility at school. And the only reason I picked up that responsibility at school was also because of this person. Not the only reason, but a very large percentage. I could say it was also because of my boss at work that told me I should go to school. It was also because a little bit, I am developing a sense of pride for being at school just a little bit. There's lots of different factors. Maybe I have two younger brothers. One, I'm setting an example, like he's not even in college yet. Like I should make sure that I'm going to college, so he knows that even though I didn't go, that it's good that I went, because I am an advocate for school. So, you should do what you advocate for. It makes sense and all, but really I feel like I'm just going to say a very big component of why I ended up back in college is because of this person. Same for a very big component of why, when I was speaking with my boss and I let my boss know how she made me feel when she was, berating me, it felt like that I was very quick to just throw out like, listen, I never asked for all this responsibility. And when I got that response back, that was like, okay, we can take it back away. Like you don't have to, like, if you don't want to be depended on in this environment as heavily as you are right now, then we can lessen that burden and give it to your coworkers, and you don't have to be the shift lead anymore. And when that was thrown back my way, I was like, very much so like, good. That's actually a very good solution. And I feel like our relationship will improve. My relationship with this workplace will improve. And like, I'm glad you kind of offered that, because maybe, I was having a hard time saying that myself. And I was it was coming out more as like stress and anger and like, but in reality, like I feel like this is actually like, I like this. I like you telling me that like you can find other people to do the job that I've been expected to do. And I didn't say that exactly, but I felt, it wasn't like, I think in past moments when someone has been, it would be my parents, I guess, when I've been told like, well, you don't have to have this privilege, and you don't like, we don't have to like, this is like something that, it's like it's like, you don't have to have our trust or whatever. You're very quick to be like, no, like, I know I was being angry and I was being all this and that and this and that, but like, no, I still want you guys to trust me. Like, I still like, I still want like, no, like, and I feel like it was almost, I don't know how to explain, but I feel I came to this conclusion. Let's stay chronological, because I do want to say what I'm trying to say here, but I also want to make what I'm saying make sense. And I think that one of the best ways to make what you're saying make sense is to tell it as a story. Seriously, because you don't think in stories necessarily. Well, you do think in stories, but it's how you translate those stories to the real world. Because like your internal stories, I mean, think of what I'm saying right now. Internal stories, like the stories that we make up for ourselves in our own mind, very much are. Oh, here comes Griffin, so we might get interrupted. Griffin Hilliard.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How you doing, bro?
Bro, so good. I'm so back.
Yeah.
So back.
Can you see me?
You, man?
You can see me, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see you.
I'm good,
Bro,
dude.
look at my silly pants. Hold on. Look at my silly pants.
I was wondering what was going on.
Isn't that silly? Isn't that the silliest thing ever?
Is it for the real?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm back with big pants. That's the thing.
I'm back with big pants. Is that like a metaphor? Or the pants are just big?
Nope. They're just big.
I have to remember to look at you in the camera. Here, am I close enough? I have to create the. There we go.
You look cozy.
Yeah, it's because we keep this house so cold, man. We keep this house so cold.
Interesting.
So you're making reels back on the Yoshi bike? I guess is the wall compromised?
It's not compromised. It's just done. At some point you got to step away, and I got it to where I'm, I have to lock in, but I did everything. I did, I'll have another opportunity to make something perfect. The whole design is not it, but whatever. Definitely making the Yoshi bike perfect.
For people, I have to do my best to make these episodes stand alone. Griffin Hilliard lives in Wilmington, North Carolina. North Carolina, for those that are far away, is in between the New York City and Florida on the east coast of the United States. It is on the coast itself, actually being about 20, 30 minutes away from a beach. And Griffin is an artist. He just finished up a mural that he lost access to because the land has been sold and he no longer is in touch with the person that is in control of the wall that he's painting on. But he also has a very successful Instagram account in which he documents the process of him constructing it is called a Yoshi mock bike. And it
The
is,
bike from Mario Kart.
yes, there you go. No one can explain what you do better than you, man.
I yeah, I guess. Maybe that's kind of odd. Yeah, I guess so. So what? I don't know, dude. I don't want to interrupt. What were you talking about, dude? That's so good. So good to be back. So fresh.
I was talking about stuff that like I would talk about like if I was alone, it was just me and the camera, but I could keep talking about it to be honest. I was at this point where like I had this phone call where like I was getting stressed out and I ended up hanging up on the person. And that's kind of where I was in the story. I hadn't said that I hung up on them
Oh
yet, but I was like kind of getting there.
yeah. Sometimes, honestly, sometimes that's the best. I'll hang up on people if I'm like, dude, no, you're not in a position to be talking right now. You need to like step back and before you say something. It's weird how phone calls can get like that. You don't really. It's hard. You can. It's harder to get like that in person. But like if
There's
I
more,
gotta talk
yeah.
about something, like
There's more. I
if I
feel
got
like
if I gotta get
there's more things in person. Sorry.
yeah, you can't. It's a lot harder to say mean things to someone's face like in person. But even on FaceTime, it's a lot easier to be just be like be mean, not mean, but like just kind of like lose it a little bit. Um, like if I gotta talk about something serious, like like with my girlfriend, I won't do it. I won't. I'll be like, you have to come over here and we gotta talk about this in person because you can anyone. I mean, me too. This includes me, but you're more likely to say mean things that you would never say to someone's face in person. So hanging up, it can be a very responsible thing. I don't think it's like I don't think that's irresponsible either. One thing I like about you, Jack, is that you never you are or you're very good at knowing when not to apologize. Like stuff like do you know what I'm saying? Like stuff that like I would find myself apologizing for where I don't need to apologize. Like I have no there's no need for me to be apologizing. I find myself apologizing, but then I'd find like how like sometimes you end conversations like very abruptly or like you're just like you don't waste time. You're very efficient with words. You're just like okay, bye, and I'm just like that conversation ended. Okay, you kind of expect like something else, but no, like dude, that's his own time. He can do it whatever he wants with it, and there's no need to apologize. He has no like why he shouldn't, and you shouldn't. Also should not apologize when you don't need to. I used to apologize all the time. I think I fixed it, but you know what I'm saying? Do you get what I was trying to say?
Last night I saw Zach Perry on stage in Raleigh, and like I feel like he's really good with that.
Yeah, I bet, man. Especially in the industry he is. And why do you say that?
Well, it's because like he's in Raleigh from LA, so I got off work and I was very much like in my head I have to see this guy, and so through the process of like me trying to like say hello to him because he's got my most viewed episode of this show. It's because he came on it, 3,000 views, and for that, even with the crappy audio, I just feel like, dude, I gotta like I've got to put myself
Out there.
not yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. So it's like kind of it's actually kind of interesting now that I'm thinking about it. I think that that's maybe not the best reason for me to have gone and seen him. But anyway, I just think he's very I just wanted to say I think he's very good, but I feel like I know what you're talking about, and I feel like Zach Perry's very good with that. Because like I was seeing him while he was working and he was very much working, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, yeah. Well, he's in work mode, It's just like that's just like with any other job, I feel like it's easy to forget when someone's like self-employed, they're like, okay, they're like, yeah, they're in control of their own time, but at the same time, they're not. They're like, they have to force themselves to be in the fucking like, when it's like being in uniform. At Jersey Mike's, he was in his Jersey Mike's uniform doing his thing in a totally different. He wasn't Zach Perry. He was work mode Zach Perry.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I feel, dude, but I feel like if you're your boss, then I got to get to the point where I have to make this podcast like something where, but he did reach out to me. He did reach out and he was like, yo, I got to come back on the show. But this was like 3 weeks ago. I got to make it so people, because it's like I'm like I like I feel like I'm like handing out, you remember how it felt to come on the show for the first time, right? Like I remember how it felt to do the very first episode of the show with Robert McCoy. Like it's like a very cool feeling, and I feel like cool feelings is what life's all about.
Yeah, you feel so special.
Yeah, so I feel like I got to make the feeling cooler and cooler. And so I just like I got to, I've got to create a large audience. I have to.
I mean, dude, you don't even need. It's just like about. It was the feeling that I got that I like. I think why everybody else wanted to be on it is because like I was like, yeah, why did you come to Wilmington? And you said you, because of you. I was like, me. I was like, you drove like X amount of hours for me. Like who does that? Like I can't. I can name few people like on one hand that will do that for me. Like and my closest friends involved. And so the fact that you do that for these people to talk with them is just like, even though like that's kind of the beauty of it, is like, yeah, you do that for like quote unquote celebrity or someone with a big following or someone that's very special. I had almost nothing special about me, and you did that. It's like, oh dude, that's cool, it's unique, it's interesting. And it made people feel special and made them, or like when I talk to Yanni, I'm like, yeah, like he's like, I'm going to talk, about what makes me me. Like that's what he wanted to talk about. I don't know if that is what he talked about,
It
but
is, dude. Yanni's one of my favorite guests I ever had.
yeah. So
yo, you got to sit
I
down.
think
You
that
got to
was
sit down. What are you even doing right now?
you. Yeah, I know. I'm locking everything up. I am going to sit down. But you already have it, bro. You already have the juice. You just don't realize it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I had to stress. I don't know
I
why
can't
my
hear
day was so
anything for
stressed.
like 2 seconds.
Okay, so I'd imagine I probably have Griffin's face in the top right corner because I'm probably going to key the frame in right here. I think when Griffin comes on, because he's a live streamer, it makes more sense for me to have, like, he should have his own format. So I think Griffin will have like, I'm not going to crop his screen basically. Because in the past, I've been like, yo, Griffin, can you stay on the left side of the screen? And that just doesn't make any sense because Griffin needs to use the whole screen. It's like not a lot of time, not a lot. Like, look at this. Like, this shot that he's giving us right now of the garage door remote is like the coolest thing ever. And I can't just have that be cropped out. So a lot of things intersect at this decision, right? It's very much easier for me to do this because in the past with Griffin, I've had to, check periodically throughout the episode to make sure. Can you hear me again?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, what's up?
I'm about. I like in the next like 30 seconds, I'll be hopping on my bike and at my location. I'm just I guess gotta lock everything up.
Okay, sounds good. I'll keep yapping. Okay, I'll try and finish my story actually. So chronologically, where was I at? I was talking about how I was frustrated on the phone. And I was trying to like build up to why I was frustrated on the phone. So I had this person that I was on the phone with. I feel like I'm trying to create this story so that you are on my side, right? I'm trying to like bring you on to my side. And I honestly, I feel like that's, it's a great tool for me to have. I see a little bit in danger of it because then it's like, well, when, like, so if not now, if not then, if not when, how am I ever going to know when to admit that I'm wrong? And I don't know what the answer to that necessarily is, because there was a time not so long ago when I was like, I felt like I was always wrong. So I would just avoid, like, when I would have feelings of stress like this, I would just sort of like do what I could to forget that they were happening. But moving forward chronologically, I was stressed on the phone, and I felt like this person that I was talking to, I had brought up how I had, my responsibility at work had diminished, and how I was excited about that. And me being excited about that was like a conscious choice that I felt like I decided to make. Like it was against my muscle memory. Like I'm never one to back down from the work that I do. Like in my mind, what's happy and cozy is like you start something and then you never quit. And ideally you take, one or two steps back, but you're always taking two or three steps forward. Like you're always, if anything, incrementally increasing. So with these things that I do, I have work. And with work, it was like, yeah, I never asked for a key, but I remember like, I know how good it feels to be important at that place. And I know that it's going to suck, having my, responsibility, taken away a little bit. I'm not going to be as relied on as I would, but I made the conscious choice to have that happen because it was in part recommended to me by this person that is now saying, I have to do more. I have got to not only do that, but I have to cut the hours. Maybe I don't need to work so much. And it's like, I feel like I'm being like, I feel like I'm being like breadcrumbed along. Like, it's like, maybe this person thinks I should just quit my job. And if that's what they think, then just say it. Like, why are we like, maybe, like, I don't, if this person thinks that, I don't know, like they never even directly were like, I feel like I have to read into this person. They never say like, I don't think they're ever like, I think you need to go back to school. And I think that with the bottom of my heart, and that's what I think you should do. I felt like they thought that, but instead with their mouth, they were like, have you considered, doing school? Like maybe today we could just like, look at what it might require to just maybe sign up, just like that kind of stuff. Like it's no big deal. But I felt like it felt like beneath the surface, this person was like, has these thoughts that they don't. And this is not just this person, because this is like something that I feel that I'm very good at. I'm very good at just like saying how I'm feeling. I think it's very valuable, and it helps me navigate. And I think not many people do that. That's off track. I'm getting off track. I'm getting frustrated because I'm bouncing around the actual thing that I want to talk about. So we're on the phone, and I sense like dissatisfaction. Like I don't know. I felt like I'm like, at the very beginning of this story, I was telling you about how like I felt like maybe if I was just perfect this afternoon and today, then I could have set myself up to be perfect tomorrow. And then I was like, but that's ridiculous. It's like some middle ground that I'm trying to find. But it's still a thought that I had. And then it's like, I feel like this person, I don't know. I said on the phone, I was like, it's really nice to have somebody that, thinks about me. So I don't know. What happened? I can't even remember what happened next. I had an 8, so I had woken up at 6 p.m. That was against what I normally, how soon I've normally gotten up. And I had an 8. So then it takes me to 6 p.m., which, when's the last time I woke up that late? Probably like 2 weeks. And I'm grumpy, I'm hungry. And the first thing I did was not eat. The first thing I did was do my math homework. So go figure. I'm on the phone, and I don't think it took much for me to be like, okay, I wasn't there to the place where I was going to eat just quite yet. And, I was sitting on the phone with this person in particular through all sorts of things, through ordering food, through driving, through this, through that. But I was just like, okay, this is my like excuse to get off this phone call, because I feel like if I can just hang up the phone, I can have my thoughts back. But that's never like, if I could do it again, I wouldn't have hung up. I feel bad about hanging up. I feel bad about hanging up. And I got a text too. I received a text. I got a text. So, this was a really nice thing for them to say, because they watch every episode. So I kind of factor that in when I'm looking at analytics, and I see like, oh, an episode only has 1 watch time hour. It's like, it's only this person. And I don't mean to write that person off. Like I should still, I'm like I guess like I should still be very grateful that it is just one person, but, to hear that this person didn't actually watch the episode, it's like I feel like they know that that would have been important to me, because I feel like they know maybe that like it's sometimes mentally I write them off as a viewer because it's like they've always been a viewer, and I feel like we have this relationship where I feel like they will continue to be a viewer, and so for them to be like, hey, actually, I didn't even really watch, because I mentioned on the phone before I hung up, I was kind of like, I
Is this your mom?
yes, yes, I could have done a better job. I could have done a better job. I said earlier, like I feel like I was very good at saying how I feel, but I probably could have done a better job saying how I felt, because instead of saying like I'm super stressed out now and super angry, I was talking about how like my episodes were doing horrible and people weren't watching them, and it's like I do one solo episode and nobody watches, and it's like, what am I even staying up late for? And it's like, what else I said, oh, I'm behind in school, my responsibilities have lowered at work, and I put less time into the videos now, just to still be behind in school, and it's like, still can't sleep great, still can't eat well. It's like complain, and then I complain about how I'm complaining because I hate to complain. And at one point I
Mhm.
was like, why in the world? Because this person is, they're always like have the ear open. They're always just like ready to listen. And I was just like thinking about that. And I was like, why the hell? Like, come on. Like, why am I talking about, like, I'm so sick. Like I did not, like, I never call this person to talk about me, but it just is always what ends up happening. It could, because I don't know why, but I call this person because I want to hear about this person. I want to talk to this person. So I was just like, started to talk really fast, started to get really pressed, really heated. Couldn't really get the words out that I probably needed to get. If I could have gone back, I don't know. I'm not going to say what I should have said because I don't want to live too much in the past. But right now, I'm just trying to recount my day chronologically. And I ended up hanging up. And I ate my food, went back, got a ride home, sat here. Actually, now we can finish this story. And I'll finish it in like 2 or 3 sentences.
Oh
Because
my God, Jack.
what's up?
No, I've heard you tell a lot of stories. This is the worst job I've ever heard. This story is the worst job of a story you've ever done. What is the story? I don't understand. What is it?
I'm talking about what happened to me today.
What happened? I don't understand. Like you're go. I like want to hear the story. You're like, all right, let's get back to the story. Like, are you not talking about the story right now? What is the story?
Oh my gosh. What? I thought I was doing a great job.
I'm sorry. Was that mean?
No, it wasn't. It was just interesting.
No, but you're just like, what is it about? What are you saying? You're saying that you're on the phone with your mom, and then you just like you overwhelmed yourself, and then you hung up.
Yeah, exactly. So it seems like it wasn't that bad of a story. But what I was really doing as a tactic to keep my mouth running is I was thinking about a feeling that I had earlier in the day and then trying to see what words came out when I went back and felt that feeling, if that makes sense.
So you have like talking about it like brought back those feelings.
Exactly. And then I'm trying to put more and more words to them.
Okay, and that's what led to you being overwhelmed, and then you like projected that onto the person you're talking to.
I think, as more time passes since now and then, it's not, the facts of the situation can't necessarily be relied on, but it's more like the feeling. So
Okay,
I
okay.
felt stressed, so I wanted to do my best to talk about how I felt stressed before, it's tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I see. Okay. Maybe it wasn't that bad of a story, but I don't know. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. You're very good at telling stories.
Oh, you don't, dude. You can be you, yo. I'm happy to.
I'm not saying you're shit at telling stories. That's why I was saying like this compared to all the other stories that was just you were just going round and round and round and round.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I know it had to have been bothering if like the people listening, it would have to bother them because I wasn't even here for the first like half of it. So if it was bothering,
Oh, interesting, dude. Dang, interesting.
it wasn't bothering me. I just thought it was funny. You're just like I'm just listening. I'm just like you see how like I pretty much just told the story in like like 2 minutes.
Yeah. But how would you? But it's like,
Well, you were better at like telling the emotions. Like obviously, like it happened to you, so you.
oh, I just lost your voice. I lost your voice. You said you were better, and now I can't hear you anymore.
Can you hear me now?
Nope. Oh my! Oh, sorry. That's my headphones just died. Oh gosh. Hold on.
So they can hear me.
And the cord that I need to charge them is in your shed. I left it there.
This is my show now.
One
This
moment,
was all
please.
part of my plan. So his headphones would die, and I could take over. I could say whatever I want. See, when I get super
you can talk on my
famous,
show right now, and no, I don't know what you're saying, and it's like
exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to enslave Jack and use him as my slave, and he will be doing all the hard labor for me. He's gonna edit everything. He's gonna do all the camera work, and all I'm gonna have to do is just la 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 la, just do my thing. This is my show now. Look, I'm even gonna take, instead of it being called jackkadis, it's gonna be called Griffin. It's gonna be called. I'm gonna change the name to Cack Jackus. Cack Jadis. And that will be my
I don't
show.
know what this guy is saying, but he's still talking.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm gonna make him wear a maid suit all while I do it. And he's gonna like it. He is gonna like it. This is my show. There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, and so that's why I love Jack, and that's why he's like my best friend ever.
What? You were saying that behind my back? I can hear you now. I was just like, quiet. So
No, I was just talking about how pretty your eyes are. Dude, why we really got robbed with our like black eyes, bro.
No, I think I like black eyes. I have friends with blue eyes and green eyes and all that. I'm a big brown eye guy. Seriously.
I think blue eyes are really pretty. I just think they're so interesting. You could see so much. Like the blackness kind of, it just kind of like it takes away all the detail. But you know, I do think it's like, you know, like Puss in Boots.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you know, how his eye, when he does like the cute thing, his like pupils dilate and all that. That's kind of what I think of black eyes. It like kind of just puts it all together.
Oh yeah, that I see what you're saying. I always thought it was so weird that some people have black eyes.
Yeah. I mean,
No, yours are brown. Like some people's eyes are the same color as their pupil, black.
that's called a demon.
No, it's called a black person.
Is it really?
Yeah, black people. They yeah.
See, I never understood, you know, the science of why black people are black. I get it. There's no melanin or whatever the fuck they say, but it's like, you know, if they're in Africa and you want to take in less sun, wouldn't you? Oh, I guess you get burnt if you're white. Okay, never mind. Makes sense. Yeah, but I don't get sunburnt. I don't really get sunburnt. I don't know, man. It just doesn't make sense. But whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about.
I'm sure it can be explained through a YouTube video or Chat GPT. Which, by the way, you can learn a lot on YouTube. Like, I feel like, oh, where do you learn that? A YouTube video? It's like, yeah, I did learn that.
That's actually exactly where I learned that from.
Yeah, and where do you learn it? Probably from someone who learned it from a YouTube video, or from the person that made the YouTube video,
or from someone that maybe knows what YouTube is.
Or yeah,
or maybe you learned it from a bird,
or maybe I just made it up.
What's going on with you, bro?
So when I run out of Adderall, because for those who don't know, to the viewers, I have been prescribed Adderall since I was in 3rd grade. I have been under the most heavy dose of Adderall and the most heavy dose of Vyvanse. So pretty much at all points of my living existence past. How old are you in third grade?
Ooh,
Nine.
is that 9 years old? I guess so. Yeah. What the hell?
9 years old. I've been jacked up on amphetamine,
Amphetamine. I think it's
and
M. I think it's with an
so,
M. Amphetamines. Amphetamines.
yeah. And so when I run out, there is also a huge shortage of Vyvanse and Adderall in America for some reason. I believe it's because a tornado came and destroyed the entire building of where they make it, but that could be wrong. That might just have a impact on it. There's a huge shortage. So sometimes I'm not able to get my medicine. And when I don't have my medicine, I get withdrawals just the same as a meth addict would get withdrawals, just the same as any other opioid addict would get withdrawals. I get the same ones. And when that happens, I am bedridden. I can't do anything. I can't think. I just lay and I rot. And it's hard for me to exist. It's especially this wasn't really a problem. It became more of a problem when I was an adult, when my problems became my problems, and it stopped becoming my parents' problems. So it's been a long process of learning to not miss my doctor's appointments and all that. But you know, I have ways of getting Adderall. And finally, I think for about 2 or 3 days, I was totally 100% out of Adderall. And now I got it back. I'm back in business. I feel like I'm myself again. But for a while, I was crippled. And now I'm back, bro. I feel so back. I just like the withdrawals are real. Like it's a real fucking thing. And it's a love hate relationship with this drug. In one sense, it's a miracle drug. It lets idiots like me actually use their brain to the full extent that they can. But on the other side, I'm addicted to a drug for the rest of my life. And this drug, and there's almost no side effects besides losing your appetite or sleeping. Not being able to sleep is a big one, and uh raising your blood pressure. I have high blood pressure. So those are the side effects, but I will happily take those side effects if I'm able to do what I love to do. And if if that means I have high blood pressure and I can't sleep, then that's fine. That's fine with me. But I got some medicine. I have a doctor's appointment soon, so I'm pretty happy. It also means that doctors can fuck you in the ass for big time. And for a while, my one doctor did fuck me in the ass for a while. I said, "Hey, dude, I need this medicine," and he was like, no, you don't." And
Well, I think he was right, personally.
well, dude, listen to this.
I think that's a good doctor.
Well, yes. So listen. Yes, but this is a special. Remember the shortage that I was talking about?
Which I looked up. Can I tell you why there's a shortage?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Several factors attribute to this shortage. Increased demand is the first. Supply chain disruptions, not because of a tornado, but because of the pandemic. And this is what I found most interesting that I really wanted to say out loud. DEA quotas. The Drug Enforcement Administration sets quotas on the amount of controlled substances, including Adderall, that can be manufactured and distributed each year. So that is crazy. That is crazy. That is so crazy.
That's messed up.
You think it's messed up?
Yeah, because there's people like me who got addicted to it in third grade, and then now they're not going to give it to me. It's like I don't know how to live without this thing,
dude. But you can still. It's not like you would die if you went without it. Like it would be very hard, but eventually you would become a better person, I think.
Sure.
You're just saying sure. You don't believe that.
I don't accept it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know life without it. But I mean, whatever. Whatever. That's besides it. The reason that I was not very fond of this doctor and his decision is because in high school I was prescribed Vyvanse. I'd take Vyvanse throughout the day, and then when I'd get home and I'd want to do my homework, I'd take Adderall. So Vyvanse is the big boy. It lasts 7 hours Adderall lasts 3. So then when I went to college, for whatever reason, he didn't do this. He only gave me Vyvanse, and he'd give me 30 pills of Adderall to last me for 3 months. And that makes sense. But because of this shortage, I would go for sometimes I would go a whole month without being able to get my Vyvanse because they didn't have any. I would go every single day. I'd be like, "Yo, do you guys have any Vyvanse? Vyvanse, Vyvanse?" They had none. So then, I'd blow through the Adderall, and now I'm stuck without my medicine because he only gave me 30 for 90 days. So all I wanted him to do was prescribe me one pill of or 30 Vyvanse for a month and 30 Adderall for a month instead of 30 Vyvanse for a month and then one bottle of Adderall for 3 months. So just give me 3 times the amount of Adderall. That way, if they don't have Vyvanse, I'm able to still function. It's fucked up if you give and you take, you give and you take, and you give and you take. And now I'm like, there's no balance to it. I'm either going without Adderall or having a bunch. It's like there needs to be consistency. So he refused to do that.
You clearly just have no interest in what your life might be like if you didn't take any sort of amphetamine for a year.
Yeah, I don't have any. No, I don't, because I'm gonna beat someone that isn't doing what I'm doing.
I completely disagree.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
I guess we can't know. That's true. Yeah, but I don't think
maybe if there's an apocalypse and I stop and I don't I thought of that.
Well, you're actually in really good shape if you decide to, if you become interested in what you might be like on a year without Adderall, you're in a really good place to actually make that switch. I mean, at least that's my thinking is like when you let go of something like that, it's good to cling to certain things. And I think you could prove a lot to yourself. And I think it wouldn't be as hard as you'd imagined it to be if you kick this to the curb and then, created and manufactured your own, you have Adderall now and you think that you wouldn't be able to be successful without it. So what if you just made the thing that you take every day be work?
Yeah, maybe after like 2 weeks, I would be able to. I'd be able to thug it out.
I think it would be 30 days. I think it'd be 30 days, and then by 90 days, you would still feel like a gray puddle of mush. And then I think at that 1 year mark, you'd feel very accomplished, but you still would look back to those days and think about how you were so much, so much
locked in,
more powerful, right? But then I think a year and a half would come by, and you'd be coming up on 2 years, because you've been taking Adderall every day for how long?
About a little over a decade.
Well, then I would actually say as you approach that 5-year timeline, you would have this resurgence of all your creative ability, and it'd be beautiful because you would be creative, and you would be creative in a way that you never thought you were able to be creative. Just think about it, I think, and get a job.
I agree, but I'm just not in a position where I can afford to do that right now, because now
I would say you can't afford.
I can abuse my body. I can afford to really push myself.
I would say you can't. I would say you can't afford to pay for Adderall at all.
Afford like money?
Yeah. What does insurance cover at all?
Yeah, it's like $4, bro. It's like $10. It's like.
Are you serious?
Yeah, if I don't have insurance, it's $400.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah, dude, it's pricey, bro. And sometimes insurance doesn't cover it. Sometimes I'm like, I need it so bad, I will pay. I will literally pay whatever it takes. I'm like, whatever it takes. Like, take my money. Like,
so now, will they sell you extra in a certain time period without a doctor's written note, even if
It's very strict. It's super super strict.
So will
Like
insurance, like what are there any, what determines
there's
whether or not
different brands.
insurance will pay? Okay, there's different brands.
Yeah, there's different brands. So this brand is available and this isn't. So if this, if this is all they got, and I know that it's going to be a long time,
So the
and I don't
doctor
have a
will
choice,
write a prescription for one, and he'll
but
say
I
it can be
do.
either one of these brands, but the doctor never allows you, like, you can't, there's no loopholes where it's like the doctor said I can get both these brands, so I can get both at the same time.
Maybe there is, but that's probably more of an insurance thing than a doctor thing.
Did the doctor tell you, did the doctor write two separate prescriptions, one for Adderall, one for Vyvanse?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But then there's no way you could be like, okay. It's
I mean,
good
I'm
that
sure
these
that
things are.
there's loopholes for everything. So,
That's true.
you can,
That's
but
true.
you're better off just doing it illegally, just going off and being like, okay, this guy doesn't need his Adderall. I'll buy that. It'll be way cheaper. It's like at that point, just do that. And, um, but I mean, I like, this is I mean, that's like what sometimes I'm forced to do that. Again, I can't, like, I'm in a very, like, I got momentum right now. I'm not gonna stop everything just because, like, you know what? Adderall isn't, I should probably stop taking it. And eventually I will stop taking it. I do believe that eventually it'll just stop working. I'd imagine you build up a tolerance just like to anything. So at some point it's just doesn't work.
Well, you already have an extreme tolerance. This is the way I like to think of it. Yes, you build up tolerances, but at the exact same time, you are increasing in age. So, you think of these things in terms of like beer, maybe. Like, people are very content with one beer. They'll drink one beer. That's what they like, one IPA
It's so
for
interesting.
their
Yeah.
for their whole lives. And it's these people still feel the effects of beer. And matter of fact, this is the way that I'll phrase this, just so I can be very clear about the phenomena that I'm describing. You can drink 1.5% beer every single decade when you're 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. And I would argue that that beer would actually have more intense effects the older you get.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know anything about it. So,
I would like to actually throw that into GPT, because it's like I don't know. It's like
I'm really not a big fan of alcohol. I don't think it's like, I don't judge anyone that does drink it, but for for most, at least in my experience, it's caused more pain than it has pleasure. And in almost every pleasurable experience, there was pain involved. So,
yes, as you age, you generally become more susceptible to the effects of drugs, including those you have used regularly.
hmm.
This involves a crazy word, pharmacokinetic changes, which means what the body does to the drug as you reduce your kidney and liver function, which is 100% how you ingest Adderall. It is still your kidney and liver.
Even through
Yes. With your nose,
even through diesel.
with your nose, it goes straight to your blood, and your blood goes right through your kidney and liver. So this is 100%. I think when you do it with your nose, it might just get to your brain a little bit faster, and that's why. But as people age, kidney and liver function can decline significantly. Since these organs are crucial for breaking down and eliminating drugs from the body, a drug may stay in an older person's system for longer and reach dangerously high concentrations. With age, the body's proportions of fat increases while total body water and lean muscle mass decrease. Decreased plasma proteins. Then there's this big word. This is a separate bullet point. Pharmacodynamic changes, what the drug does to the body. Increased brain sensitivity. Older brains can be more sensitive to the effects of certain drugs. Benzodiazepines. Older adults are more sensitive to the sedative effects of these. Anti-cholinergics. This class of drugs is it can mess with your memory. Impaired homeostasis. Impaired homeostasis. It's just like it's like the body is not like a free ticket to 80 years, if that makes sense. Like you have to imagine it as like a machine that needs no maintenance, but eventually has an expiration date. And just like an engine that needs no mace, it's like a disposable vape, right? Like
If you abuse, you don't have to,
like I'm serious. I'm serious. Like tell
you
me,
don't have to go bait.
like to tell me
Yeah.
tell me what a puff bar tastes like near the end of its cycle. You can tell that thing's getting old because it tastes like dog. You know, that's because the cotton is used up and used up and used up. But at the very same time, sometimes them things be hitting the hardest right at their end, if you get what I'm saying.
Um,
Well, that's actually not a very good.
yeah, it's not. Do the engine one. If you abuse a car, if you're hard on a car and you fucking abuse the fuck out of it, something's gonna go wrong eventually.
Well, I'm trying to tell this to you, and as of your situation, like you're just gonna like as you get older, and you might think this is awesome. You might be like, score, because I love the effects. You love the effects of what you take, and you take it on purpose, and you don't see yourself ever even thinking of not taking it. You said,
Eventually, I do.
well, like the longer you go, the like you said the thing like this is the now. This is when I really need the effects. But that sort of reasoning is just as useful and is like could be used directly for the other side. Like the now is when you
Yeah.
need to let go of it because it's you like what it's not so much like
It's just as much of a reason to stop.
it's
is
like
what you're saying.
I can't tell the future and say like what you might become off of drugs, but I just know that like I believe it's more positive than negative. And isn't that what we hunt down as people, like what to do, you know? Because we got to do something. So shouldn't we do the right thing? Like that's what we spend so much time thinking about is what is the right thing. And I think the right thing for you would be to cut that shit out of your life.
Yeah, well, it's just it also decision making is a big one. Like you have to think like this is you have to think of like this is like what makes me able to make like I make very poor decisions when I'm not like this is like factual. Like I like I have that's why they like and that's why like they prescribed it to me because I was a I'd make a
But
bunch
that's
of
because you
trouble.
were young, Griffin. That's because you were young. Like you have to
Well,
understand.
even in like high school, and also it's like motorcycle. When I'm on a motorcycle, you have to be focused. You can't be even for a split second. If you're not locked in, if I'm driving around and I'm having a hard time focusing, that could kill me.
Dude, but
So
your reasoning is like in my mind, your reasoning is so flawed because I've made it to the other side and like I didn't like it wasn't like I did it. Like if I can do it, anybody can do it. Like like you keep on saying
when I have a car and I have an actual stable income, then yeah, I see myself stopping it, and I see myself having no issue stopping it.
you're never gonna
But
think that's never gonna come about. If you ever get those things, you're just gonna think when I have kids and when they go off to college, then I'll stop. You're never ever going to do. Your reasoning is extremely flawed from the perspective of if it is true that deep within your mind you're thinking about.
it is true. When they're like, dude, your blood pressure is too high, I would stop. You don't believe I would stop even if they told me that you're gonna die if you keep on doing the same thing
They're
you're
never
doing?
going to tell you that because you're not going to die. That's I'm not. That's what I'm trying. No, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
There's a point where they say, okay, you have high blood pressure. I think at that
No,
point
Griffin,
is when
Griffin. Please get this one thing straight. You're very irresponsible with the way that you use this drug. And even if you weren't responsible, it's extremely regulated, where you literally can't be irresponsible.
yeah, exactly,
And
exactly.
I know that you take it from time to time illegally, but even when you do, you still are very, very responsible. There,
Yeah, I no, I use it just as I would be using it as prescribed.
no, I
Like I'm
know
just
this. I know this. I'm telling you
yeah,
this. Like I know this. Like
I'm saying for the viewers, like so
you
they
are
don't think I'm
you
a fucking crackhead.
Well, I need you to understand that it's not because I think that it's not a death thing. It's like a quality of life thing.
Uh, no, I get it. I completely agree with you. I completely agree
Do you?
that with time, I really do. But I just, I'm me, so I know what is best for me, and I know that I can't afford to even have a week of struggling with withdrawals right now. Like,
How are
I
you so
know in
sure
the
you
greater
know it?
good of
How are you so sure you know what's best for you? I don't know what's best for me. I'm back in school. Do I think that's the right choice? I'm not sure. But I'm
yeah.
taking others'
So
advice
I
because
mean,
I feel like
like,
people are better at. Sometimes people can tell you what's best for you.
well, and I tell you it's a waste of your time. Are you still gonna go to school?
What's the point? Like if you, oh, I wouldn't take your advice on it because you're not in school, nor have you been to school.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. You're not in the same position. You haven't been taking this drug for decades and decades. You don't know what it feels like.
I,
You have
I I
no
have used a drug for a decade.
this drug.
Not an amphetamine, but is it that crazy? I mean, my parents didn't go to the same school that I'm going to go to, but they still went to school. They didn't study the same
No,
thing.
yeah, but you don't know what it feels like to be taking this day every single day, 24/7,
Well,
and
you
then
can't
start
tell
taking
me I
time
don't
off.
see you. I do see you. I have been you, and I won't. That's where I put my foot down. I
You
know that
can't say you're me.
I can say I see you. You're trying to act
Yeah,
like
you see me. Dude. It's hard for me to like listen. Listen. Okay, do you not just see like the metaphor that you're not gonna listen to me because I'm not in school, and
no, that has nothing to do with it. I actually
it
you're
is
one
the
of
perfect. It's
you're
the
one of the
perfect.
people that I think are most important for me to be friends with because you're not in school.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. That's not. I mean, that's like unrelated to what I was saying. Like, it's the same thing as like you haven't experienced the things that I have experienced. So I have experienced the things that I've experienced, which means I hear you. I listen to your advice. I think you're right. But at the same time, like I would, through my experiences and through living through my body, because I know what it's like to live through my body and the way I function, this is what's best for me. Because no one else knows what it's like to be me except for me. But otherwise, I just go to the therapist, and the therapist would be my daddy, and I'd just do what he tells me to, because he knows what's best for me.
Well, that's taking like the relativity too far to an extreme. It's like on that
No, it's
note,
not.
yeah, it is. It's because it's like on that note, then how are you ever able to like? Then why are we? I mean, why are we friends with the people we're friends with? You know, because I guess according to what you're saying, nobody has anything in common.
No, that's the absolute. You're saying that's the absolute. I hear your advice and I listen and I've taken it in and I get what you're saying.
I
I've
think you're
just
going.
decided not to
I
listen to
think
it.
you're going too far on the absolute in terms of I have when you say that like you've never been me and I know what's best for me because I've been in the shoes of saying that. Like I've said that plenty of times to people. I've said I know what's best for me. I said that so many times and I broke free from it. And I feel that
Okay, but so what am I supposed to say to all the other people that are saying like, yeah, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing? Like my family, it says, yes, this man needs his medicine, he needs his pills. Like this, like everybody, that's an undeniable fact of
well
like, get this man.
that's a positive
My mom
feedback
literally
loop.
came down.
That's not,
Mom, my
whatever
mom
you
literally came down from Charlotte to deliver me like 4 pills just so I can exist.
yeah,
Like
but
that's how.
that's not as important as you'd think it is. You know, she probably just wanted to see her son.
Well, yeah, that too. But like, I mean,
I mean,
like
it's not
at this,
like these people, like, if you ask them, like, think about it, this is your life, right? So to you, you write your own story. So
I'm listening.
it's not like you and your relationship with Adderall is not as important to you as it is to it. It is much more important to you than it is to, you have to imagine, I think, that to be a person is like floating around in a gray abyss and you're just desperately always trying to reach out and grab something, just something. And I feel very strongly that, and I don't see how anyone could disagree, the interrelation with and communication and social interaction with people brings you closer and closer into contact with just physical objects that just for the moment you can grab onto. And I feel like when you say things like and this is honestly we've detached ourselves from the drug debate. When you tell yourself that no one, like, you've not been me, and you can't tell me this because you have no idea what I like my experiences and what I've been through. It's not whether or not that's a true statement, because we can dive into what true even means. It's more of
Is
like,
that not a true statement?
what are you doing to yourself when you say that? When you, it's like an isolation, what's the word, it's like a, it's an
Well, I think
ode, it's like an
I
ode
think
to
you're just
isolation.
mad. If this is not like that's yes, that's going on in my brain, but that's not like the only thing. That's not me saying that. Yes, I'm absolutely 100% correct. That's not me saying that you are very capable and have given me advice that I should take, and you're not me, and you haven't experienced the things, but you did just give me good advice that I should take. You know, that's not me saying that
Well, have you ever taken
that's not
any,
possible.
well,
But
what,
in this case where like I mean these are through doctors and like you know as much as I hate doctors, I don't like doctors and they're wrong more often than not. Doctors are wrong, and I think people should be capable of that, and I'm aware of that, and I'm aware of that. I wish I wasn't even prescribed this medicine, but I am, and that's just where I am right now. So it's in this case, I know me, and I you know that in this case yeah I am saying it, but in other cases that statement, I am me, I know what's best for me, is absolutely hurtful. So that it can be a very hurtful statement, but you know it's on a what's that word, what's that phrase
it's a
called, a
spectrum. Let me tell you, I think this is one of our best
it's a
episodes of
spectrum,
all time.
stands by
Okay,
stands
when it comes to advice that I give you and whether or not you take it, what do you think? Because I don't think, have you ever taken any advice that I've given?
yeah
What?
I've had to, bro. I think
You have
I
not.
know I have.
You have
I
not.
know I have.
Because I can list off all the things that I've recommended to you, and I know you don't do any of them.
Okay, say.
So this is what I want to do. I want to think like, what can I like? I want probably for my own
If you
ego.
were me, how would you make me better?
Well, I mean, okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. But
Yeah,
also, we have to trade though, because I want you to make a recommendation to me that I agree on upholding. Like
I
for
think you'll
like,
be right as
let me be very
Joshua.
clear about this. Let me be very like my
And this is
mom.
not personal. This is not personal. I'm not hurt. This is not personal. Say whatever you want to say. You cannot hurt my
I
feelings.
am not worried about hurting your feelings.
Great. Great.
Okay, so I think what I'm focused on most is not so much even the piece of advice that I give you, it's whether or not what I say you will actually uphold. So I think about all the things that I've said to you and how none of them have stuck, and I immediately think, okay, let's dumb it down. So what I want to tell you to do is something that I think is not only something you're capable of, because I've never told you anything that I think you're not capable of. You know, why would I think you're not capable of something in the first place? What do I want to tell you that I think not only will you agree that you're highly capable of, and I think you agree that you're highly capable of everything also, but that you feel like an excitement towards, and I think it's easiest to feel excitement towards tasks. Now, in this case, I can give you a small task, and it's a good moment. It's not a good moment. It's a good. This is a good thing because whilst that small task might not warrant any sort of excitement or reasoning to do it previously, if like since we're having this sort of experiment, it's like, oh well, this small task, something I never would have even thought about, like it doesn't matter if it gets done or not. Now this is like the one thing that like Jack asked of me, so it's like
Okay.
now it's like the thing. So I'm thinking of small tasks, and I'm thinking
Just get to the root. Just get to the root.
okay, I've got it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ooh, no, that because I'm thinking of all the factors that go into one thing. So I'm trying to make this something that's like really
Maybe list it. Just go down a list.
no, because
And it might be more of it might be a list, but it might end up being more like a tree or
no,
a
no,
web.
no, 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 I know, no. It's not going to be a list or a tree. It's going to be very matter of fact. And I got something right away. I looked at your door and I thought, but then I thought, like, I don't know how accessible markers are to you because eventually they would run out,
I
right?
have markers. I have paint. I'm literally an artist.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. And the paint is like right next to the door, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Got it. And the door's never going to be like, the door's never going to be covered by anything because it's a fucking door. People don't hang things on doors. Okay. Ready? Here's my task. Let me know if
All
this
right.
is something you could agree to or not.
Yeah.
I would like you to start in the top left or start wherever you'd like.
Okay.
And I would like for you as oh man, this is so difficult.
Just fucking say it.
As often as you can, or maybe I would think like whenever maybe like whenever whenever you remember, I would like you to take a Sharpie and write the date on that door.
Okay.
And very small, very small. That's why like my brain goes to like start at the top left, but like it's like you're good for brain. That's it. That's all.
Okay.
You agree to it? Is it exciting?
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Well,
are you gonna do it right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now. But I'll do it right now. I was gonna paint Steve on it, so I might have to redo all the dates until I get to that. But
Oh shit! Oh shit!
No. But it's still gonna happen. So it'll just be around Steve, like from Minecraft.
I didn't know that. Okay, that's fine.
Why am I doing this?
Because this is just what made sense to me.
The fuck? So this makes no sense. I thought. Oh my goodness.
Did you write it?
So what? No, I'm looking at the date.
Oh, okay. It's the first. Ooh, the first of the month.
It's the second, actually.
That's true. But I always, the way that I do dates when I record dates is I put like, I go off of by sleep. It keeps me accountable for sleep. It's like if I haven't slept yet, it's still the first. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough. I'm not going to sleep. Why did I do that?
Why did you write the date just now?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Because now, now you can finally say you've taken some of my advice. And I can say you've taken some of my advice. Okay. Do you have any advice for me? I'm ready. I'm so ready. I'm ready for this.
So if I had to give you any advice
that I would take, it has to be something that I would actually take. And I think it's probably going to be harder for you to give me something that I would take because you haven't had like, I don't think you've ever given me any advice.
I thought
so. You can't. So you can't go based off of.
I thought what you were about to do, and I thought what you were about to do is like you were about to break down like all my flaws and like be like, you need to fix this, this, and this, and this.
I could tell you thought that, bro, but that's something that I think you do enough to yourself.
And yeah, I already know and I thought I was gonna sit here and you're gonna tell me things that I already know that I do and that I need to fix. But
I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about this date thing.
How would I do that to you? How would I break you down and fix everything that I think needs to be fixed about you? And I was going to tell you that I would change absolutely nothing.
Of course you were. Hey, I'm really excited about this thing on the door because I think as the door fills up and I have this hope that Steve never gets drawn. No offense, but I hope
he might not.
I hope that the dates eventually cover the wall so that from my point of view, the green takes on a much darker, if not completely black color. That you look at that door every time you leave your shed before you move out of your shed and you feel a sense of pride because I think that everyone deserves to feel pride. And I think that writing the date over and over again is something that you can be prideful about.
Okay, I can do that. I won't miss a single day on my mama.
Well, actually, that's what I was going to say. I was going to be like every day, but then I was like, wait, but like I've done things every day and I've missed days. Like, how can I rephrase this? So I just said whenever you remember. And I was gonna do what I was gonna do.
No, I want to do it every single day. I need consistency. I don't do anything.
And that's amazing. That's amazing because it's your idea. And what I was gonna do is I was gonna say just make a dot. But then I was like, as I dropped the requirement for it to be every day, it kind of carried over. I was like, if it's not going to be something I recommend he does every day, I
don't keep track of my dates either. Like a lot of times dates just kind of fall together, especially if I
100%.
So
100%.
That was good advice. I do have one advice for you.
Okay, it's just got to be. I can disagree to it. Okay.
Yeah.
And if I disagree, you have to go back and workshop it and give me something better.
Okay.
Hit me.
Hooks. You need hooks.
Hooks.
On your videos. The videos are just where I go to, but hooks. Something to hook. Whether it's a visual hook like me in big pants, or a, think about it. You're scrolling. You need to stop this person from fucking scrolling. Like, it's like, stop scrolling. Or like, it could be anything, even look up hooks. Be like, what's a good hook? There's plenty of videos on hooks, but hooks, just just keep that in mind. That's all I want you to do is like, keep that in mind when making a short is because you're very, very capable of doing this, especially with how you talk and how your voice, make sure there's a hook, whether it's a visual hook or audible hook or something like that. It has to
Okay.
be
Okay. This is
some
big.
type of hook.
This is big. This is big. I immediately want to say I agree. Okay, but let me just talk for a second. This is huge. This is huge.
Okay.
Because I put
And
out,
no, wait, can I say one more
I
thing?
put out
Can I say
3
one more
YouTube
thing?
videos.
One more thing. I I know your content. I like how your content is very raw. It's a lot of time. It's very raw and very authentic, and that is like a big part of jackkadis. Like the very first video you posted, there was no hook. There was, this is happening. That's what jackkadis is. It's very raw, very authentic, and jackkadis isn't really a hook. That's not really. I don't really think of jackkadis when I think of a hook, but I think adding a hook, is it's just the only, like, you will see a lot of benefit from adding a hook. I know that's like me asking you to change your content, but it's just something I would want you to consider, because you are like, that is like part of, if you want to keep it the authentic, no hook needed, just completely raw jackkadis, I think you'd still succeed that way. But adding a hook, I think you would succeed and see more growth faster. But if you're not adding a hook, it would be a much slower progression in growing whatever channel you're doing. But, if you don't even need a hook and people are still going to watch it, even by not needing a hook, then that is almost more valuable than a hook. It's just a harder way.
Okay, when I'm looking this way, I am staring directly into your eyes, but the camera's here, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm not. Okay, I'm thinking. And I want to say yes. I think I'm going to say yes. Yes. There I go. I said it.
Okay, nice. I wouldn't blame you by not, though. If you know what, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
nope. Tonight I have like every single night I have 3 long form YouTube videos and 3 short form videos that I will publish, 6 pieces of media in total, and each and every one is going to have a hook.
Nice. I'm very interested. Your goal is to get up to 3 seconds. You need to hold the audience for 3 seconds. That's the goal, is holding their attention for 3 seconds. Whatever hook, it needs to be under 3 seconds. It needs to be fast, straight to the point. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just, you're just holding them there. Get to the point, or I don't know, just a hook, bro. Like, I don't know. You'll find your own style. But
I'm nervous, but I'm gonna do it.
It's big. Bro, but dude, I'm almost, so now that I finished with that fucking bitch ass mural.
Yoshi bike. Yo, I have
Yoshi,
to come back. I have to come back.
It's time to, right before the mural, we had those big discoveries, those big breakthroughs with AI. So all I have to do, I'm still playing catch up. I got painting to do, and I got to make my website, and yeah, bro, and I got to edit the mural video. But very soon, I'm gonna be back on the grind with doing what you're doing, bro. I'm gonna be just like you. I'm gonna make a bunch of accounts. I'm gonna have multiple accounts, and I'm gonna be posting a fuck ton of videos on all of them. I think I'm gonna be splitting up. And I'm gonna be doing I think I'm gonna split up my main channel. One page will be like really refurbished and have the nice content that I know will do very well, and then there'll be a smaller one that will give you a better inside look on what's happening. And then another one that's going to be maybe art related, and then another one that's just going to be fucking everything, just boom, 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 just everything. You know,
Man, that was such, dude. Episode 247 of Keeping It Real.
are you ending it?